Hello,
Hey
everybody. Hold on. Let's fix this. There we go. That's better.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the comments already.
This one right here?
Yes, my daughter-in-law is on, but Monkey Butt, I told her she couldn't watch because my case is dark and is about sexual assault. So I told her she couldn't participate tonight.
Mine involves stripping bodies and selling the skeletons, so that's fun.
So
and that's just a small bit.
Yeah, so I told her she could not listen tonight. So
it was a good call. We've got lots of stuff going on tonight. We've got Chase update. We've got news stories. We've got our actual cases, and who knows what the hand grenade house. So a lot happening.
A lot happening. And I just changed my mind on the way I want to do this. So before Chase, I want to show your shirt so I can move it out of the way before I spill on it. So guys,
well, I'm gonna pull myself off, and then you can be. There you
just
go.
Me?
You can probably still hear, but yeah.
I can. So since JT and I are going to the True Crime Podcast Festival, and Brew Crime will be there as well, JT's other podcast, I got him a shirt made that is wine and beer that says, "Why not both?" And on the back, it has both of the logos. And I'm very excited to have you in it.
Yay! I can't wait to model it.
And my shirt's not here yet.
I don't know. I think I like it better than Bluey, but that's to be determined. I love this shirt. This shirt's awesome because it's like, what up, party people?
Well, when Double H saw it, he goes, "Well, where's my shirt?" I said, "Well, you're not going to the festival." He goes, "And?"
But
so, note to self: order Double H a True Crime and Wine Time shirt.
Put the shirt in the store.
I'm like, I mean, he has a hat. He wears our hat.
That's true.
So
Thank
I'll
you.
get him a shirt.
Double H.
I'm excited about that.
It's cute, and then I get in it, and then it's like, eh.
Oh, you designed it, and it's going to be fabulous on you.
It'll be good. Well, that was fun. Do you want to do a few of the whole? Well, I have this. Look what Little Bruce Crime made for me. I think that is I don't know.
That is a really good portrait of you, Dad.
I think they painted I think the activity was called Modern Mona Lisa, and that is.
Well, I like it.
I'll put it right here.
As I say, you need to keep it.
It went in the office. See, I don't spend much time around well, you wouldn't know it, but I don't spend a lot of time around the fridge, but I do spend a lot of time in the office. So when it makes it to the office, it's a big deal. So I'll put it somewhere that everybody can see it, somewhere over this way. But yeah, I just had to, I brought it up and I knew I was going to forget. Tots adorbs. Tots adorbs.
It is
All right.
adorable.
Do you want to do Chase?
Yes. So we've got some interesting stuff going on with the Chase Lackey investigation. For those of you who saw Midday Missing, know that I will be going to California, meeting with one of the great people who volunteers their time to help investigate and do stuff. She and I are going to meet face to face, have a couple of cocktails, and discuss some things. But I wanted to share here Harris County has given the case to a cold case detective who is supposed to be working on it. I'm going to just be honest and tell you I had high hopes when I saw it was a female. I had high hopes.
Oh, had. Hold on. That's past tense.
In her email to me, her response was, because I asked if we could talk. She goes, I would love to hear what you have to say, but I'm not telling you anything.
Oh,
And
this is the person who didn't want to talk to you, right? They wanted to.
yeah,
Yeah.
will only talk
Okay.
to the family, and is saying that they are not going to release Chase's cell phone, laptop, or his Xbox because it's still an ongoing investigation. And here's my thought on that. You've downloaded all the content off of it. You're not working the case. We have proof of that. What the F?
What's their definition of ongoing? Like all of a sudden it's convenient for you to keep it? So it's ongoing. No, at a certain point, you surrender your ability to hold on to those things when you stop caring. So give it back.
And the family volunteered it to them because remember, they did not treat Chase's apartment like a crime scene. They did no fingerprinting. Right. They didn't do crap. The family said, oh, well, do you want a cell phone? Do you want this to see? They offered that up. And they don't want to give it back.
If they would have done this right the first time, instead of effing around, but no. We're going to further inconvenience the folks that are working on it and the family in order to show that we're doing something. I don't get it.
Yeah. So, like I said, I had high hopes. Not saying that a man wouldn't do just as good, but I was hoping by it being a female that maybe it would tug at the heart a little bit more because of somebody's kid going missing. I mean, I was hoping, but maybe she will prove me wrong. And if she does, I will be happy to shake her hand and tell her you were right, I was wrong. But until that day, I mean, she didn't even dignify and say, yes, I would love to talk with you. Let's chat, and tell me that on a phone call. She sends me an email basically saying, I'm not talking to you unless you're giving me tips because you're not family.
So the massive binder that you have.
And we're starting the second one.
Yeah, I mean, if she's going to be like that, then I mean, you want to burn your bridges, go for it. But and that sucks. It sucks because it's not just burning bridges. You can't trust her, so you're not going to try and build the bridge back. So
exactly. So, I mean, I almost wanted to message Debbie and Craig and say, okay, either one of y'all want to adopt me so that I can say I'm family, so I can just shove it in her face, because I would really like to just say, ha, see that, but hey. I won't.
Get a really, really heavy, get the heavy binder and just, I bet you they solve that fast.
Now, I am going to ask our viewers. I have some names of people that we've been given their names. I'm not going to give you the information we have about them. We're trying to find them or find somebody that knows them well that will either have them call us on that private line, or we'll call and leave a private message with how to get in touch with them. So I have a list of names. All of these individuals had contact with Chase in the last 2 weeks before he went missing. The majority of them do have a connection to him working in the drug trade. Okay. So I want to give these names out there. Anthony Barahona, Crosby, Texas. Fabian Silvestre from Unknown. David Dahlmeyer from Houston, Texas. Desmond Cartwright from Crosby. Don Covington from Dallas. Dallas Scott, and I'm not sure his name is Dallas. His name just could be Scott from Dallas, but he is a jeweler in Dallas. So that should help narrow it down. And then this last one's going to be interesting. Torrin Cassini from Colorado. And then also has had addresses in Reno, Nevada. What's interesting about that person is, I'm not going to say the name, but there is a person who went missing. Well, I mentioned it on midday. Ian, who went missing from Colorado, from the Houston area. He and Chase had each other in their phones. I would love to know this Torn Cassini and know, did he know Ian as well? There's so many similarities to their cases. I can't help but wonder. So if anybody knows them, please tell them to call me anonymously at 512-553-9484. We now have the tip line where it'll either go to voicemail. You can have it go to voicemail, or it'll ask you to push a number and you can come straight to my cell phone. Okay. And I will tell you guys, when I see it's the tip line, I drop business calls to get it. Okay. Because it just shows up tip line. It doesn't show their phone number. It just shows tip line. So if anybody knows any of these individuals, have them call us or call me and tell me how to find them. Because I'm not saying they're involved with his disappearance. No, I want to know what he was up to those last couple of weeks from people that knew him in a different way than friends and family did. They were more of a work connection. And now, just because I'm me, I want to share some exciting information. For those of you that know about the Chase Lackey case, you've heard me talk about his fake friends, Addison Guerrera and Matt Brewer. And I had shared that Guerrera was arrested and indicted on money laundering charges and possession up to 50 pounds. He is going on trial July 15th.
Ooh, is there a live stream?
So there is.
Oh, shut the front door.
Smith County 7th District Court on YouTube is what it says. And it will start
Smith
at 9
County 7th. Can one of the mods write that down? Smith County 7th District Court, 9 a.m. on, you said
July
when?
15th. July 15th.
July 15th. So there, that's the Monday we are back.
It's the Monday we get back. If that wasn't the case, I would be going there, right? But what I find so interesting about this is, he's refused to talk to us. He has refused to give any help to try to find Chase, but he lives a very nice lifestyle. He's been in the drug business. He's who got Chase in it. I mean, he's probably trying to get out now, but he is pleading not guilty. And he got busted by going to the pack and mail place to pick up a package that he sent to himself with the drugs in it and money. How are you going to claim not guilty? Why didn't you take a plea deal, dude?
Deal wasn't good enough. I don't know. You know what though? I struggle to say this, but I'm going to. If you're moving that much, I just recently saw an episode of some show where the guy would not help by informing to get out
Mhm.
because he was so high up on the chain that he knew somebody was going to be able to bail him out and he could get out in a way. So what I am saying is, dude, nah, that's what I'm saying,
Well,
without saying it.
what I think is a lot of time plea deals happen at the last minute, right?
Yeah.
I've said this multiple times. I do not think he himself did anything to Chase. I do not think that. Do I think he knows? At my granddaughter's not in here. Make sure. Abso-fucking-lutely. He knows. And he's probably trying to cover his ass. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Because they will kill you. But you think they're going to let you get convicted and go to prison and you think you're going to be okay in there? I mean, if I was Addison,
No.
I would start turning evidence, turn these people in, and take my cute little butt down to witness protection
Instead of down to Gen Pop, because
instead of
good luck.
because I'm here to tell you, I have never heard where any drug cartel lets you go to prison and they think you're not going to talk because he's a pretty boy. He's the talker. He's the sales guy. He's the smoozer. He's not your down and dirty street thug. Matt's more the street thug kind of guy.
Unless he's worth more to them alive
And
than
that's
the other
and
way.
if that's the case, it's going to be interesting.
Well, come the 15th of July, if able, we'll stream the trial. I don't. I
Yep.
mean, I. It's local. We wouldn't be streaming another um news station or anything. So I think we could get away with it without much commentary. So we'll either stream it here or we can stream it in Discord on Courtyard.
Well, I could also I know somebody that lives there and I can check and I mean, I don't know if they'll let you have a phone in the courtroom and record, would they? Probably not.
You won't know. We'll have to pull the feed from
Pull the
the
feed.
live stream. And that's fine. We just share the screen. It's something I've done before. So we can definitely it should be fine to do that unless there's some rule that the judge made, but I don't think there is
Yeah.
for this kind of a thing. So,
Well, he's going to
why
have
not?
pre-trial on July 8th at 1:30 is pre-trial.
Okay.
So
7, 8, or 1:30.
I'm really hoping that Addison does the right thing because I also want to say to him, if you've got information, trade it. Trade it to protect yourself. You've got
No,
kids.
the minute he trades it is the minute he's dead.
Nope. Hey, the Texas Rangers and the Texas Marshal, I know for a fact, have gotten someone out of the cartel much higher up than him, and the person went about and had a life.
Yeah. But
So it's
I
possible.
don't want him to go about and have a life.
I don't either. But unless he tells us where Chase is.
Yeah.
Because part of his punishment would be if you go into WITSEC, he's not going to get to talk to his mama. He's not going to get to talk to all these people. He will get to go with his kid and his woman, and that'll be it. So there is some punishment in that. And they'll probably put him in Montana working on a horse farm and make him shovel poop. He will not be driving nice cars, going to fancy parties with his rap people in LA anymore. So
Could you hear my eye roll? It almost hurt.
I did. I did. So
well.
if anybody knows any of those individuals, that names I just mentioned, please have them call me, reach out, you call me because they might know something without knowing they know something. They in no way do I have any reason to suspect they're involved. They just happen to be doing
Mhm.
business with him or were close kind of friends in the last 2 weeks on the business side. Do not think they were involved with the cartel or anything like that. They were more
Yeah.
customers. So that is our Chase update. There is some things going on, but we're not going to be able to talk about some of the stuff we're finding out. One reason I now get a little bit more why police keep things close to the chest because you don't want
Mhm.
people to get the information. Also,
Right.
for mine and all of us, JT, you included, all of our safety.
Mhm.
So,
Ah, well, thanks for looking out for me
of
because I
course.
wouldn't do well anywhere else.
Yeah, I would not do well either. And just because I carry a gun doesn't mean I want to use it. I will use it, but I don't want to.
So, are you okay if I reuse an asset from another one of our shows for our stupid news?
Of course, as long as it's not a picture of
It's
my
like my
butt.
favorite. No, I keep those on the I mean, no, it's not. Um, and here we go.
Just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think? I like turtles.
Apparently, sometimes I don't watch I don't watch the news.
Because we see this dude every day. I mean, every day.
I didn't make this kid pass out on my floor. People wanted to be here.
Oh, it's just like, dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like
Customer out here, what's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Where are your parents?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm so proud of myself for that one.
I laugh at that. Now, before I tell y'all my stupid news thing, I don't know if anybody's been to Buc-ee's, but these bold and spicy Buc-ee's Nuggies, these are addicting. And I've already eaten 2 servings out of this bag.
That sounds like you're like 2 servings off an American serving.
I'm like, my 14 pounds I've lost are diminishing. So,
Oh no.
yes, they're called
Wait a second.
Nuggies.
There's a Buc-ee's
They're now
that's coming this way?
They are now opening them up outside of Texas. Buc-ee's is a
Yep.
great place to just go and spend some time.
They're planning on having 4 Virginia locations. It looks like Stafford, New Kent, and Rockingham. So we'll see. I've
So
never
the
been to one.
interesting
It's not
thing,
near.
because they have the beaver on here, my monkey butt wanted me to get her one of their swimsuits that they sell. And I was
Mhm.
going to until I noticed it's got beavers all over it. And one of the beavers is strategically, they didn't pay attention to where they put it. And I can't put it on an 11-year-old in that area. Just saying, I couldn't do it.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what
I
they were doing.
I don't think so. I think it had to have been an accident because it's not that way on the adult ones. It's only the kid ones.
I think we need to look into this. Whoever designed that, we need to look into them immediately.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So
Well, you're starting, right?
I am,
me.
and I am, and this one, the headline made me laugh. Okay, made me laugh. Wife accused of spiking husband's Mountain Dew with weed killer told the cops, I should have just divorced him. I mean, she didn't try to lie. She owned it. But here's the funny thing. The reason she did this was because she was mad at her husband because he didn't appreciate the 50th birthday party she threw. I'm so
I mean, point out 50, and I'm not going to be enthusiastic either.
But I
I mean,
really? You put
Uh,
weed killer? She put Roundup in his Mountain Dew.
weed killer is
here's
just
what's
another
worse.
name for buzzkill.
But here's the thing. They are like us and have cameras everywhere. He thought something was up and he thought it had an odd flavor. But then he reviewed video footage of the garage and he saw her grab the Mountain Dew out of the refrigerator, grab the wine, the Roundup, and then put the Mountain Dew back. So he went to the police.
Well, it's amazing that he tasted anything over the taste of dew.
Well, I just have to say, how did you forget that you have a camera in the garage? Because, it wasn't too long ago, I told Double H, I said, I couldn't sleep last night. He goes, why? I said, because I was laying here realizing I could not sneak out of this house or sneak in. Every window, door, and every inch of our property is covered. Captain, I agree. Antifreeze would pair much better with Mountain Dew.
Y'all are mad.
I'm assuming everybody uses antifreeze, so she thought she would do something different because she probably thought it wouldn't be caught. I don't know, but you don't just look at the cop and say, yeah, I should have divorced him.
That was not a worst confession.
I'm like, at least try to lie for a couple of minutes. And if you're going to kill your spouse, could it be for something besides the fact he was unappreciative?
Are you saying you didn't appreciate the excuse?
I did not appreciate the excuse. I did not. So now she's going to try to kill me.
Oh. Well, listen, we're going to head from there. Where was that at?
Lebanon, Missouri, I believe.
Missouri. Perfect. We're going to head to Florida.
Missouri?
We're going to head to Florida. It originated in New Jersey, but this New Jersey man flew to Florida because he was upset with another player on a game that he was playing. So, an online gaming dispute made its way to the real world when a New Jersey man flew to Florida to attack another player with a hammer. Edward Kang, 20, is charged with attempted second-degree murder and armed burglary with a mask. According to Nassau County records, he was arrested on Sunday. Nassau County Sheriff's Bill Leeper said, I just want to tell you this is a weird one. Some things you just can't make up. Kang and the victim, another young man around the same age, had never met in real life, but they both played Arcade, a medieval fantasy, massively MMORPG, massively multiplayer online role-playing game. The game's publisher announced in April it was going to be shutting down servers. That's not important. He flew from Newark to Jacksonville after telling his mother that he was going to visit a friend that he had met while playing a video game. Mom just was like, yeah, sure, you're 20, you're in my house, get out. Officials didn't say how Kang learned where the victim lived. Upon arrival, he took an Uber to a hotel about 35 miles north of Jacksonville and then bought a hammer at a local hardware store. He went to visit the victim's home, which was unlocked, around 2 a.m. Sunday, authorities said. The victim was walking out of his bedroom when he was confronted by Kang, who hit him on the head with the hammer. The two struggled as the victim called for help. His stepfather, because of course he lives with his parents too, responded and helped to restrain Kang until police arrived. The victim suffered, I hope he's okay, but suffered several head wounds. They weren't considered life-threatening. Okay, that's good. He received staples at the hospital. Kang told investigators that the victim is a, quote, bad person online. He also asked deputies how much jail time people got for breaking and entering an assault. Quote, and this is from the sheriff again, I'd say, Mr. Kang, it's going to be a long time before you play video games again.
But do you it's not breaking and entering if the door's unlocked, right?
I mean, it's not breaking. It's certainly entering. He broke his head, so there was breaking, and
There was
there was
breaking.
it was E and B rather than B and E.
B and E.
So
Okay, that's pretty good. Well, I have one last one, and for anybody who's been to a nail salon, I hope I can do this someday. Customers at an Atlanta nail salon ignore man trying to rob them. He walks in, starts shouting, everybody get down, give me all of your money. All the customers just looked up unimpressed, and the nail people just kept doing their nails. And the article says they stare at him and barely move or change their expressions, except for one customer who eventually stands up, raises her hands, and when he walks up to confront her, she slowly backs out the door.
This
and then
is
he
exactly
realizes
what would happen if I tried.
he's not getting anywhere with this. So he looks around and he's like, screw it. And he walks out the door.
So
he got
really,
nothing.
you don't you don't give them what they want. You just show indifference, and we're gonna call him the indifferent robber.
I mean,
Yeah,
I love it. Because you
it
would
sounds
think,
like an SNL sketch.
I know you would think all the women would be like, ah, you know. But no, they just kept sitting there and just looked up and just kept getting their little nails done.
Right? Was this a salon with free wine?
I don't know. I would hope so.
Wow.
But so.
My last one involves a critter. A critter and assault charges. So
Oh.
Marissa Simonetti, who's running for a seat in the Hennepin County Board, which is it's like in Minnesota. She says that the woman involved rented a room in the house she lives in and then refused to leave. So Marisa Christina Simonetti, which sounds like it's from The Sopranos, 30 years old, was arrested Friday, June 21st on a charge of 5th-degree assault. I didn't realize it went up to 5 degrees, but there's 6 degrees of separation, so why not? It's 5th degree is probably just for like just a dumbass choice of weapon or something. I don't know. But a woman called Adena police to report Simonetti trespassing into her section of the house. You know when you're a parent, you're like, do I have to draw a line down the middle of the car? Apparently that was it. The alleged victim, Twin Cities attorney Jackie Vasquez, that's the victim, tells KARE 11 News Simonetti threw a live tarantula at her, among various other junk, in what she describes as a scary encounter. Simonetti spent the weekend in custody and was released. See, don't commit a crime on a Friday or a Saturday. You end up spending the weekend in jail. The charge involves fear of bodily harm and does not require battery. So,
okay. Why is that not attempted murder? That's attempted murder.
Why is it not attempted murder? I
Because
don't know.
I am petrified of spiders. You threw that on me, I would die. I would literally have heart failure, wet myself. Oh my God. You do not want to know what that would have been.
Well, listen, apparently they ended up talking to her on her way out of the courtroom. So we will definitely, I'm going to share the screen, and then we're going to show a lovely video as our segue into the next thing. So let me
Okay.
go ahead and open this up. This is the woman. She does look like she's from The Sopranos. Faux show. And I have not previewed this video. I have no idea what it's going to say. It might not be anything. We'll see.
Hey, Marissa. Lou Ragoose at Care 11 News.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Can we talk a little bit about what happened?
What do you want to know?
Oh, that was it. That was the whole video. What do you want to know? I want to know where you get coffee while you wait. Oh,
That
was there
I mean-
anything else?
my mom and I were both scared of tarantulas. There was a time we went to a Kinney shoe store, if anybody remembers those. And my mom went to write a check and went to put her arm down, and they had a pet tarantula in a terrarium there on the counter. Let's just say I did not get my shoes, and my mom dropped a couple of expletives, and we left. Oh my God, no! See,
That's
nope,
right
nope,
there. And then she threw a bunch of other stuff. So that's what it ended up looking like, apparently. And I guess on top of that, this fellow was also charged with 5th-degree assault, which honestly, he should be charged again for me having to look. What is this? This is the first video, shows her tossing the terrain. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Please,
Oh.
no.
All right. I wouldn't call that a toss.
They
wouldn't-
let
I
him
wouldn't
out of
call
the
that a toss.
cage.
I-
That's a toss.
And I'm scared of what they're gonna do when they come in here. Listen.
I'm not surprised she's a candidate for stuff.
Just screaming, praise Jesus, hallelujah. I don't know.
Oh no! Here she throws more stuff down the stairs, and finally, who appears to be filming as well, admits she just bought the tarantula. This is insane.
Well,
Oh, wait.
actually, the more important question, and it's asked one time in the Bible, is what must I do to be saved? And the answer is believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and you and your house will all be saved. So if you got about 10 minutes, I'd love to walk you through it, get a campaign donation. You don't have 10 minutes for Jesus? Well, okay. Be blessed.
Okay.
I don't have 10 minutes for you. But the concept of you equating yourself to Jesus, not original, been done recently. And in addition, I don't remember where throwing shit at other people is in the. You know what? He did toss shit in front of the church. Toss it and said, "Oh, that's Jesus Christ Superstar." Sorry, but yep, yes, harassment for Jesus. Well, that's not harassment for Jesus. The whole thing moved. Harassment for Jesus. Yay!
I mean, wow.
It's it's something else. Okay.
I do feel sorry for the spider, even though I allow Double H to keep one garden spider a year on our property. All of the rest have to be killed because they're on my property.
Oh God! All right.
But you still shouldn't.
I'm gonna play
throw
this
them
last
down the
one.
stairs.
I agree. This is adorable. The sound is amazing. I'm so happy. Did he just fart at the end?
He did.
Oh, he burped.
He burped.
I think the funny part about it is it was actually Terry crunching. The goat's very quiet.
No, that was not me. What I find funny, he will not let you take them out of the bag and feed them to him. He wants to take them out of the bag. That was his treat for making it through surgery.
I love Jasper. What a good boy.
Jasper's cute. So that was very lighthearted. Thank you.
But it is. I think we needed that before we get into darkness and depravity.
Yeah. I am just gonna say, I really was like writing and doing all my notes, and I'm like, am I the only person in this world that does dumb criminals and it's still dark? And then
Yeah.
I heard about yours, and I'm like, yeah, no, JT's just as dark as me.
Yep. Well, right before we do that, we're going to take just a quick break. I want you guys to check this out. Share us with everybody. We are looking for more subs, and we just need a few more hours to be monetized. So, relatively.
Here's the thing. We are so close that we would do our little party. We need 320 rewatch hours. And we're there.
It's really not that much. It can be done.
So it's really close. And then you will do makeup, eat stuff.
Listen, if everybody who subbed here watched the latest episode that was posted, trial story time, we'd have double what we need. So, so yeah, so we're gonna hit this, and then we'll hop. Is this some kind of miracle we didn't see? Even if we're broke, we're getting burned by this first degree. Getting profiles still stuck in the underground. I can't help but falling into settle down. I can tell by the look in your eyes, you're not ready to go. I'm lost with my head in the clouds, so I don't really know. Standing by the edge, not looking down, 'cause I want you to know. Waiting for the interstellar light, I don't need a reason to show. I know it's all about you and I, and the things we know. We will keep on going down, but I won't let go. Yeah, fun times.
I just want to say we're going to be together physically in just a couple of weeks. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could hit this before we're together and do it all live together?
100% would be fantastic. That means that I'm going to borrow your makeup. So
I will bring plenty for you to use.
Okay, sounds good. And I'll try and remember. Listen, the last dab sauce is it's sitting on my counter, just chilling in the kitchen. So I have it. It already exists in my house.
So if we can hit it before you get on that plane, you can bring it with you.
Yes, and I will, for sure. And they'll be confused why I brought it, but too bad. All right, so we're talking dumb criminals tonight, and I mean, my fella wasn't your traditional dumb. Certainly not the dumb news that we just read. But the Mudget was something else. And I call him. Everybody knows him as H.H. Holmes. However, that wasn't what he was born as. And after I say that, what he was born as, you'll realize why he went to H.H. Holmes. It's certainly. I mean, he basically went. He's the original Triple H. So I don't know what to tell you. All right. So it's a wrestling reference. It's okay.
Oh, I'm like going, what is a Triple H? I have a double H. I don't need a triple one.
I've already got double H Holmes.
I will keep my double H.
That'd be a spin on your life if he was double H Holmes.
Yeah, we would not be married.
True. So, in the annals of criminal history, few names conjure the same chilling intrigue as H.H. Holmes, the sinister architect of America's first known murder castle. Born Herman Webster Mudgett. What a winner. You see, women in bars were chuckling, and he was like, I'm going to be called H.H. Holmes, because that's how everybody talked in 1870s.
I mean, who wouldn't change their name if your name was Mudgett?
Yeah. I agree. So his tale is marked by a macabre ingenuity that has since inspired countless tales of horror, suspense, Saw. So, Holmes' story is not just one of murder, but meticulous planning, cold calculation, and an unnerving charisma that allowed him to evade suspicion for far longer than his brutal acts should have permitted. I do want to say this, and I mentioned it, kind of a little further on. Excuse me, but there was a lot of sensationalism in the media. Oh, shock! Audible gasp. There is both the stories about the third floor being a maze and all this stuff, and I'll talk about it in here. But there's also the thought that he didn't even finish the third floor. It was literally just a way to hide furniture that he was given so that they couldn't take it back. Because he's a scam artist. So there's a little bit of both things. I am going to give you the story that most sources use, which is like Murder Castle, but I will also mention the other in a little bit. Yes, the blueprints are quite interesting. That is very true. And the way that he had them build that area is also very interesting, which leads it to that. As long as it's not a real one. Well, so his infamous Chicago hotel, constructed for the 1893 World's Fair, was a labyrinth fortress of terror, complete with soundproof rooms, trapdoors, secret passageways, greased chutes. It was designed with a singular purpose of facilitating his gruesome experiments and insidious appetites. However, it's crucial to recognize, again, here it is. Look, I wasn't that far off. That a lot of this comes from sensationalized media reports and accounts that have embellished his already horrifying deeds. While Holmes's crimes were undoubtedly heinous, some of the more fantastical elements of his story, such as exaggerated body counts, elaborate torture devices, may owe more to the imaginations of journalists and novelists than to documented fact. So he did some of these things for sure. It's just a matter of how dramatized it's been, right? Which the story doesn't need to be dramatized. It is already insane. So we're going to talk about HH. We're going to talk about the methods, motives. We're going to talk about a lot of things. So Herman Webster Mudgett, later known as H.H. Holmes, was born on May 16th, 1861 in Gilmanton, New Hampshire. He was the third of 5 children in a devout Methodist family. His parents, Levi Horton Mudgett and Theodate Page Price, were both strict. You know what? I think his parents were named what they were, and they said, this sucked. We're going to pass on the misery. Why not?
Hey.
So we've got Levi Horton Mudgett and Theodate Page Price.
I'm sorry. He should have taken his wife's name. I think Price would have been better than Mudgett.
This was the late 1800s.
I know.
We're still trying to fight that battle. Yes, you give kids a bad name. So they were strict disciplinarians, his parents, which is a common characteristic of the time. Levi was a farmer and a trader. Theodate managed the household. Surprise, surprise. Yes, that's exactly how it's spelled. Theodate. Let's see. The strict upbringing is often cited as a factor in shaping his early personality and behavior. He was reportedly an intelligent and inquisitive child, characteristics that would later evolve into cunning and manipulative. He exhibited an early fascination with medicine, an interest that was allegedly sparked by a traumatic childhood experience. According to some accounts, he was bullied by his peers, who once forced him to view and touch a human skeleton. Though intended to frighten him, the incident instead piqued his curiosity about the human body and the workings of death. Piqued his curiosity is quite the way.
But how did they come across this human skeletal laying around?
Well, if I remember correctly, a good chunk of like biology, skeletons, things used in classrooms and hospitals and stuff like that, I believe that they used to be skeletons.
They used to be real.
Somebody look that up for me. I don't want to put that out there as a possibility if it's not true. So either confirm or deny it. I don't mind being told I'm wrong.
That would make sense back then. I mean, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But I think piqued his curiosity is quite a way of saying,
yeah.
So his academic journey began at a local school in Gilmanton, where he was a bright but solitary student. He graduated from high school at the age of 16 and soon after began teaching in Alton, New Hampshire and nearby towns. His teaching career, however, was short-lived. So that's... I can't imagine being taught by a 16-year-old. Yeah, yeah.
But he was intelligent. He was the first Doogie Howser.
He was Doogie Mudgett.
Doogie.
That ended up on the cutting room floor. It was like a first draft title, and they were like, "We can't have this, so we're gonna go with Hauser." At the age, in 1878, at the age of 17, Holmes married Clara Lovering, which is quite the last name, by the way. Mudgett and Lovering.
Sex toy much? Anyway, go on.
Nope. Say it.
Just nope.
I knew it. Holmes enrolled at the University of Vermont in Burlington. However, he was dissatisfied with the school's programs and left after a year. In 1882, he was accepted into the University of Michigan's Department of Medicine and Surgery. So that means that he was, that's for gas math, 21, when he was accepted into the Department of Medicine and Surgery. It was here that his fascination with anatomy and dissection flourished. During his time in medical school, Holmes engaged in numerous unethical practices, including insurance fraud. What he would do was he would steal cadavers, disfigure them, and claim they were victims of accidents to collect insurance money. This early criminal behavior...
They had insurance back then? And we still haven't fixed it?
We still haven't fixed racism or sexism. Like, there are priorities.
I didn't know insurance was around back then. Wow.
We certainly haven't fixed separation of church and state. So, you know.
There's a lot of things we haven't fixed, but go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought insurance came around in like 1930 or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the big questions that he asks while going through the jurors to select a jury pool is, do you work for this such and such, or do you know somebody who works for, I can't remember what financial group it was.
That's why. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So this early criminal behavior, I mean, it demonstrates his lack of moral compass and traits that would later define his career. I don't remember specifically, but I believe that he actually worked with one of his mentors to actually take corpses as well, to study them. But and to be honest with you, that is not unique. That was done a lot. Like grave robbing was a thing. So yeah. Let's see. So upon graduating in 1884, 2 years later, Holmes briefly moved to Moores Forks, New York, Gesundheit, where he was suspected of the disappearance of a local boy. He left town quickly, moving to Philadelphia, where he found work as a keeper at Norristown State Hospital, a position he soon left. He next took a job at a drugstore in Philadelphia, but left after a child died from taking medicine that he had provided. Holmes denied any involvement and immediately left the city. You know, one death, maybe, yeah, it's weird. 2 deaths coincidence. 3 times, and you all of a sudden leave quickly every time. Then, yeah. So, so in 1886, Herman Webster Mudgett changed his name to Henry Howard Holmes, a pivotal step in his transformation into the infamous H.H. Holmes. This name change allowed him to distance himself from his past misdeeds, alleged, I guess, and begin anew. He relocated to Chicago in 1886 and began working at a pharmacy owned by Elizabeth S. Holton. He was impressed by his charm, his professionalism, and her husband had died, and she ended up selling her business to Holmes. Although the circumstances of the transaction are a little weird. Some thought that Holmes was, used coercion, foul play. Possibly he killed the husband, which honestly I would not put past him. So with the pharmacy under his control, that's funny. Nuggies a la Mudgett. With the pharmacy under his control, he began his ascent into infamy. In 87 years late, a year later, Holmes purchased an empty lot at the corner of South Wallace Avenue and West 63rd Street, across the street from the pharmacy that he owned, and he began the construction of a 3-story building that would later become known as his murder castle. Officially designed as a hotel and retail space for the upcoming 1893 World's Columbian Exposition, the building featured a labyrinthine layout. Oh man, SAT words. Hook it on Pahonics, work it for me. Including secret passages, soundproof rooms, trapdoors, and basements equipped with surgical tables, a crematorium, and various torture devices, including a vat of acid.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Holmes employed several construction crews over this time, often firing them before they could fully grasp the building's true purpose. This constant rotation of workers ensured that no one fully understood what was going on. So they'd work on individual parts, and then he'd fire them and say they didn't do a good enough job. He wouldn't pay them, and then he'd hire the next crew to do something. So Smarty Smarterson.
Smart but stupid.
Right. So the first floor of the building contained commercial spaces, including a new and expanded version of Holmes Pharmacy, a jewelry store, various other shops. Maybe that's where your jeweler works. I don't know.
Maybe.
The second floor housed Holmes' personal office and living quarters, along with several rooms for guests. It was on this floor that Holmes' sadistic designs became evident. Rooms were outfitted with gas jets controlled from Holmes' office, allowing him to asphyxiate his victims at will. Some rooms were equipped with iron plates, effectively making them soundproof.
Okay.
The third floor was intended as a hotel for fairgoers visiting the World's Columbian Exposition. This floor featured more guest rooms, many of which contained hidden passages, trapdoors, secret staircases leading to the basement, places that led to nowhere, all kinds of stuff. And then the basement was the Chamber of Horrors. It housed a dissecting table, stretching rack, acid vats, quicklime pits, and crematorium. Yeah.
Now,
And he used.
the gas means that they didn't feel everything, right? It just put them to sleep, helped me feel better.
I mean, I would
They
imagine it
weren't
was natural
conscious.
gas. I would
Okay.
imagine it was natural gas, and I'm guessing they would go unconscious before anything happened. But I
I'm
honestly
hoping
don't.
before
I'm
they
not
get on
sure.
the stretch machine.
Well, it's kind of hard. It's really hard to. I don't know, because when he was arrested, arsonists ended up burning the place down. So there's only so much that we can pull from things, and a lot of this is coming from the blueprints that Captain had mentioned earlier. Also, he used the basement to dispose of the bodies of his victims, either by burning them, dissolving them in acid, or he would strip the flesh and sell the skeletons to medical schools. Because why not?
Wow. I just,
Yeah.
for dumb criminals, we're really dark.
Right. So, he would lure his victims in different ways. He targeted young women because he's a real man's man. Often enticing them with promises of employment, housing, romantic involvement. Once they entered the murder castle, they were subjected to a range of horrors. I mentioned asphyxiation. I mentioned gas. Medical experiments. He had a morbid fascination with the human body. Some of his victims were subjected to medical experiments before being killed. He would use his dissecting table in the basement to perform these procedures. And then for disposing, I mentioned a couple of these, but he would either burn them in the basement crematorium, dissolve them in acid vats, like I said. He would strip the flesh using the quicklime pits. And like I said, he sold the skeletons to medical schools, hospitals. He also had connections in the medical community, which allowed him to profit from this. So, at a certain point, you'd think they'd ask him, like, where are you coming across all these, Herman? I mean, H.
You would think. I mean,
Right.
wowza.
So, several of his victims have been identified, though the true number is uncertain. Eventually, I believe he had confessed to 26 or 27. The reason why this number is questioned so much is that there were a couple people that he had said he killed that were actually live and well. So, yeah.
Maybe they were
right?
on his list to kill and he just hadn't gotten to them and he forgot he hadn't gotten them.
Maybe that's very possible. But there are some that have been identified. Some of the more notable ones, because the list is forever. I don't want to say, I hate saying some of the more notable because that implies that the other ones are not, and they're just as important. I just don't have all the time in the world. But Julia Smythe and Pearl Connor. Julia was Holmes's mistress and worked at his pharmacy. After her husband disappeared under mysterious circumstances, Julia and her daughter Pearl vanished as well. Holmes later admitted to their murders, though their bodies were never found. Emmeline, I want to say Sigrand. Emmeline was a stenographer who worked for Holmes. She disappeared December 1892. Her remains were never conclusively identified, but she is believed to have been another victim of his experiments. Minnie and Nanny Williams. I love the names. There are names like late 1800s names anymore. Minnie and Nanny.
Wait a minute. Minnie was Wilhelmine Minnie Williams. Her name was Wilhelmina, however you say that. But she went by Minnie.
Oh, that's right. Wilhelmina. Yes. Correct. Thank you. Sorry.
I just like the name Wilhelmina.
Yeah, one of my best friends. That's her name, and it's awesome. Holmes courted Minnie, a wealthy Texas heiress, and convinced her to transfer the deed of her property to him. Both Minnie and her sister Nanny were later murdered, their bodies disposed of in the castle's basement. That's a theme. That's a theme with Holmes.
I mean, you've got
Benjamin
the space, you got the equipment. It worked before. Why change it? If it's not broken, don't fix it.
True. It's true. So when I was recording some of the trial last night, I tripped on this name, but I believe that the last name is pronounced Pitzel. So Benjamin Pitzel and family. It's Pitzel, but I think it's Pitzel. I think the E is like silent in the middle.
Okay.
If that, I don't know, maybe I'm talking out my butt, which usually I am, and that's fair. Holmes' business partner, Ben, was murdered by Holmes, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then Holmes also murdered 3 of his children as well.
Whoa,
we will
wait, back up. His own children? Okay.
No, Ben's children, Benjamin's children.
Oh, Ben's children, not
He
okay. I thought he was
murdered-
killing his own. I mean, it's
Yeah.
bad enough he killed somebody else's, but okay.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second. So, his criminal activities did go beyond murder, if you couldn't tell already. He participated lifelong in fraud and deception. He had numerous scams to fund the operations he had. Ben Pitzel was a carpenter, occasional criminal who became Holmes's closest associate. Together, they concocted various schemes, including a plan to fake Pitzel's death to collect on a $10,000 life insurance policy. But Holmes's insurance scam, before that happened, Holmes ended up being imprisoned briefly, and he met somebody named Marion Hedgepeth. And Marion Hedgepeth was a notorious outlaw. And so they ended up coming in contact with each other. And Holmes promised $500 in exchange for the name of a lawyer who could help him with the massive insurance fraud deal that he was going to do with Ben. Right? You got to get a lawyer who's crooked who can help you out with that. Now, the deal was that Holmes would fake Pitzel's death, collect a $10,000 life insurance policy, but Holmes had no intention of splitting the money. He was going to the $500 he promised Marion, and then he killed Pitzel by rendering him unconscious with chloroform, and then setting his body on fire to make it appear as though he had died in a lab explosion.
Okay.
Now, here's the banger. So the notorious outlaw hates law, especially in the late 1800s, right? Holmes, of course, never paid Hedgepeth, not once. And Hedgepeth was pissed. So Hedgepeth tipped off the authorities.
I mean, hello.
So, right. And then that led to an increased scrutiny of what he was doing. Now, Holmes's downfall began with that murder of Ben Pitzel in 1894. He took out that large life insurance policy. Holmes also took custody. So the idea was they were going to go away and they were going to do this. Well, when he came back, Pitzel's wife was like, "Where's Ben?" Because she doesn't know that he's dead. And he goes, "Don't worry. Your kids, we're going to get the kids. We're going to take them to him. He's really excited to see them. So let me go ahead and take them." It's something like that. I'm grossly summarizing. Anyways, he took custody of them. Well, Howard, the youngest, started really frustrating him. And so he ended up dispatching of Howard. And then Alice and Nellie didn't know where Howard went. So he ended up dispatching of Alice and Nellie, effectively getting rid of all 3 of them, leaving his wife alone, having lost 4 family members in a matter of a couple of days. The insurance company, however, became suspicious of this whole thing, and they hired the Pinkerton National Detective Agency to investigate. And I I was very interested in this because I wanted to see, one, if they were still around, and two, did they do anything of note? So I did look into them very briefly, and we'll talk about that for a second. But in November of 1894, Holmes was arrested in Boston for the first time on an outstanding warrant for horse theft in Texas. And that arrest set off a series of investigations that eventually revealed the full extent of his crimes. Now, let's talk about Pinkerton for a second, shall we? Because I hadn't heard of them. It sounds like you have. I never heard of Pinkerton.
Okay, maybe it's a Texas thing, but it sounds like somebody else has heard of them. But yeah, Pinkerton is still around.
So, Alan Pinkerton, who was a barrel maker who emigrated from Scotland, founded this Pinkerton National Detective Agency in Chicago. His early work in detective services began when he stumbled upon a gang of counterfeiters and provided crucial information to law enforcement, showcasing his observational skills, investigative talent. His reputation grew, and the agency was established. Now, during the American Civil War, he served as head of the Union Intelligence Service, a forerunner to the Secret Service. His agency provided military intelligence, conducted espionage, and even uncovered an assassination plot against President Abraham Lincoln in 1861. His efforts helped secure Lincoln's safe arrival in D.C. for his inauguration. Where the hell was he? Just a little while later. Have I never seen? I have yes. Yeah. Okay. Listen, y'all. Listen. I get it. Believe me, when I read about it all, the connections were made. I'm just being honest. I didn't know.
The light bulb went off for him. The light bulb went. Hey.
I don't pretend to know things. If I don't know them, I'm going to tell you I don't know them. I don't like to fake it. So following the Civil War, the agency expanded its operations. They tackled a wide range of criminal activities, from tracking down train robbers and outlaws to providing security for railroads and other businesses. Pinkerton agents, known as Pinkertons, it's all making sense, became famous for their relentless pursuit of criminals, employing innovative techniques. And they were the ones who they started using undercover work, surveillance, and the use of informant microphone. So yay for them. They did a bunch of stuff. I have like some things here. You mentioned Butch Cassidy. Yes, they tracked down and apprehended members of Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch, who carried on the Great Train Robbery. They coordinated a multi-state investigation and used advanced forensic techniques to bring them to justice, which is amazing because I'm telling you right now, good luck trying to get an interstate agency cooperation to do anything. So well done, Mr. Pinkerton. Okay. So they do, obviously they're still operating Pinkerton Consulting and Investigations. They do security services, risk management, corporate investigations, crisis management. Everything's changed, but their mission's pretty much the same. All right. So Holmes is arrested. That's where we're at. Holmes is arrested. His trial began on October 28th, 1895 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was charged with the murder of Benjamin Pitzel. Like I said, the trial attracted considerable media attention, and Holmes used the platform to present himself as a misunderstood genius. And he was able to do this because, well, he represented himself. In the beginning of the trial transcript is a fascinating dialogue between his defense attorneys attempting to leave, which is amazing because like one of the first lines is, "Judge, I don't think we've had enough time. We need either an extension of 60 days or 90 days or we're out." And the judge was like, "Well, if you leave, then that you might have to provide cause for not being disbarred." So good. And then as the thing was going on, and everybody can check this out in part 1 of True Crimes or Trial Crime Stories, which is the newest video on our channel. But then H.H. Mudgett wouldn't let the lawyers do their job, and he was like, "You know what? I can do this." So he ended up representing himself, which I had no idea. I had no idea he had represented himself at all. And I'd seen a lot on Holmes. So either I fell asleep or it wasn't talked about. I
You
don't
just
know.
missed it.
Probably. But for those of you who haven't seen it, that video is a direct reading of the trial transcript of H.H. Holmes. There are no jokes. There might be some funny looks to the camera every now and again, but it is a direct reading that is recorded on video with the transcript on the screen, so that you can read it with me.
You
that
can
way
read
I
it
didn't
with
have to
you?
do a bunch of. You can read it with me. I listen. I'm surprised I made it through an hour and a half last night without making many errors. So
You did amazing
but
last night.
I was so
if
happy.
anybody just heard just that, they're going to be like, what was he doing so amazing last night if they hear that out of context?
Feel free to isolate that one line. Okay. So in the beginning, let's see. They didn't think so again, his lawyers didn't think they had enough time to be ready for 4 murders they wanted to initially charge Holmes with, Benjamin and his kids. He eventually refused to let them do anything, like I said, and he ended up questioning the jury to select the jury. And in the first in the first video, we get through the entire jury selection. So we'll start with the trial in part 2 next week. Also, if you're a member of the Courtyard, I do those live. I record those live on the Courtyard, and then I post the videos on YouTube here on this channel. So become a member of the Courtyard, and you can watch me do that. You can watch the behind the scenes of that live, which is a lot of fun. So
can you tell them
overall
where to get the Courtyard?
Yeah. Can one of the mods pop the Courtyard command in the chat? That would be phantasmic. So they'll do that, and then so there it is. Thanks, Llama. Despite his attempts to charm the jury, as you can well imagine, the evidence against him was overwhelming. The prosecution presented detailed evidence of his fraud schemes, his multiple marriages, gruesome discoveries in the murder castle, testimonies from various witnesses, including law enforcement officers and surviving victims, painted a picture of Holmes as a remorseless killer driven by greed and a perverse curiosity. Holmes was found guilty of first-degree murder. By the way, he was only charged and tried for 1, not more. They didn't call him back for more. 1.
Just 1. Wow.
Yeah. And so he was found guilty of first-degree murder November 4th, 1895, and he was sentenced to death because that was first-degree murder in Chicago at the time. In prison, he penned a memoir in which he confessed to 27 murders, like I had mentioned, though some of those confessions were likely exaggerated or fabricated. His true victim count remains unknown, though. All these estimates range from 20 to over 200. Okay. Who knows? No, they didn't try the kids because the lawyers said we're leaving if we're heading out if we don't have enough time to prepare for all 4. So I think they ended up reducing it to just trying the 1. That's the conclusion I'm coming to based off of what we've read so far. So again, on May 7th, 1896, H.H. Holmes was executed by hanging at Moyamensing Prison in Philadelphia. His execution was not without drama, though. The first attempt to hang him failed. And it took over 15 minutes for him to be pronounced dead.
Oh.
Sorry, not sorry?
Sorry for him?
His request in terms of burial was that he would be buried in an unmarked grave and that it would be encased in concrete. Here's the kicker. Why? Because he was afraid of grave robbers.
He was scared somebody would steal his body. Of course he was.
So his criminal activities in Chicago paint a portrait of a deeply disturbed individual whose charm and intelligence masked this monstrous nature that he had. The murder castle with its macabre design, hidden horror, stands as a testament to how twisted he really was. Now, his ability to evade suspicion for so long underscores the dangerous allure of charismatic psychopaths and the importance of vigilance at all times. And it's a reminder of the depths of human depravity. And we're still talking about it to this day, over 100 years later, 120 years later, almost, somewhere in there. Math, who knows? And I think instead of F it, I'm going to start saying mudge it. And we're just going to make it a thing. Mudge you. It just seems to have a ring to it. So
it does kind of have a ring to
it. And I know that this is a gross summary, but there is not enough time to cover all the things. So if you want to hear more about it, like I said, the first part's on our channel, and then I'll be trying the best I can to release one every week. Traditionally Thursday morning, unless you're in the courtyard and you can watch it recorded live the night before. So there's H.H. Holmes for you. What a dick.
And not a good dick.
Give him the D.
That did not come out the way I meant it to be, but it's okay.
It came out exactly the way you meant it.
I don't like his name, and now I have to. I mean, double H, HH. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Sorry to do that to you. But I mean, fun role play.
Yeah, no, I don't want my skin stretched. No, I'm good.
I'm walking away from that one right now.
That was dark.
It is dark.
I knew nothing about him until last night. I've had too many nuggies. I
have. He didn't.
And he did not deserve a cool name. I think we should do a petition to give him a different name.
Fuckface.
I like fuckface. Fuckface. Well, that was dark. It was good. And I'm glad I watched the video because I didn't get to finish it last night. He does not. Double H does
Honestly,
not have a mustache.
Can we please make that the Halloween costume this year?
Double H
you
did
can make
have
him
a little,
late 1800s gentleman.
He had a little porn stash back when he was in college. A little porn stash. You know what? I will grab a picture from one of his fraternity dances and I will share it on our next live. I am writing myself a note right now. Picture Double H mustache.
Our next live is going to be in Denver.
Oh, that's right. We will be
Ideally.
together in Denver.
Yes. Now, are you going to be Minnie or Nanny? That's the question.
Well, since I'm a Disney fan, I'm going to have to go with Minnie.
Oh boy. Haha. Hi, Minnie.
I will have to be Minnie. So, well,
I mean,
my piece is dark in a different kind of way. And when I say that, everything I've read said it's one of the first cases that this became an issue. So I'm going to start off by saying we all do dumb stuff when we are teenagers. Okay. And sometimes it carries on until your early 20s. For some people, it carries on even longer. But I could say
some people are going to be on trial mid-July.
That's right. I've never done anything this dumb. And I truly hope most people would say they've never even considered doing it because sadly, it's more than just dumb. It's horrific. It's horrific.
Oh, well, I was going to say me, but no.
Yeah, no. Because I would have to hide your body. But no, I probably wouldn't hide your body. I would just hang you up and let them take you out. So on February 27th, 2016, so not too long ago, Marina Lonina, age 18. Now, her dad came over from Russia when she was a small girl. But why are you laughing, JT?
Because all I can think of is, can you say the name again?
Marina Lonina.
B5 Fonina. Marina. That's all I can think. All I can think of. Please tell me that's not the victim. Is that the victim?
It's not. No.
Okay.
She
all
is
right.
not
All right. I feel better now.
She's
okay, good.
not the victim. So,
I should have
and her
clarified
friend,
before.
yes, and I'm going to call her friend Jane, okay? Because her name was not released because she was a minor. The two were friends. They met up with a 29-year-old at the mall. Okay? And I'm going to stop you right there. Please tell me why in the hell a 29-year-old man is meeting up with an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old and buying them vodka.
Okay, well, you added that second part. So
am I just old? But I don't know. But that just bothers me. But Marina and Jane met Raymond together on February 26th at the local mall, where he proceeded to buy them vodka and he invited them to hang out the next day at his home. Which, guys, I remember being that age. Yeah, party, let's go. And they did. Okay. I hope nowadays 17 and 18-year-old girls would be like, red flag, red flag, red flag, but they went, and we're not going to shame them because I would have done it too. And they went the next day. The three were drinking and hanging out at Raymond's house, where he began sexually assaulting Jane. And Marina, the dumbass, started live streaming the assault on Periscope. She was one of the first cases to come to law enforcement where she live streamed it, guys. Now, she got caught because a friend of hers called the police. After it was over, so maybe they watched it later. They didn't see it live. They watched it later. I'm not sure. But they called. Jane was still assaulted. Okay. And Marina and Raymond were both arrested. Okay. Marina was arrested on March 3rd, 2016. She was charged with kidnapping, rape, sexual battery, obstructing justice, pandering a minor sexual, and pandering minor nudity. Okay. Now, this girl, man, Anyway, we're going to keep going. She pled not guilty. Okay. She was let on bond of $125,000. I mean, that is extremely low in my, $125,000 for all of that. Right?
That's ridiculous.
Now, here's what she told police. She live streamed the attack to keep her friend from being assaulted.
After the first 10 seconds that it doesn't work, move on. So no, I don't buy it.
But I know I'm old and I'm not hip like all, these young people, but please tell me how anyone with half a brain would know you don't grab your cell phone. Oh, let me record this. While they're being assaulted, You grab something, you scream, you grab the lamp, you do something to try to stop it, right? So I'm going to call pure bullshit on that excuse because you don't live stream it if you think it's going to keep her from being assaulted. I agree. It brought the assault on even farther. I mean, why didn't she call 911? She had a phone in her hand. Why didn't she just call 911?
Right.
But forgive me. We all know I try to be kind, but she's lying. She is lying. She also said she just got caught up in all of the likes in people watching it. She just got caught up in the excitement of people liking her video.
Everybody who hit the like button should also go to jail.
I agree. I mean, I don't know. But the prosecutor said, for the most part, it did not appear that Marina tried to help her friend. In fact, you can hear her friend, who I'm calling Jane, screaming in the video saying, "No, it hurts so much. Please stop. Please no." So I want someone to explain to me why Marina thought filming was helping her friend. Because you're sitting there getting likes and commenting, and your friend is sitting there screaming for help. I personally think she knew exactly what she was doing. She then later told police that she filmed the assault so that it would be evidence and that she didn't do it to embarrass or shame her friend. She did it so that the police would have evidence.
Evidence would be calling the cops to get them over there sooner.
I mean, guys, she didn't just record it. She live streamed it. I mean, there's a huge difference, in my opinion. If you put your phone where it can record it and you try to grab her and get her out of there, that's recording it for evidence, right? Live streaming it and interacting with people who are putting likes up. And guys, she did not call 911 or make a police report after the assault concluded. She did nothing. She did nothing. So, prosecutor also told reporters that the night before, she had also live streamed her friend the day before who was naked without her friend knowing. So she got another felony charge for that.
Yep.
Now, Marina and Jane are both naturalized U.S. citizens, but they're both from Russia. Okay. And the thing that shocked me was that psychologist said that Marina just got caught up by the likes that she was getting, and it made her feel like people liked her. And guys, I have serious issues with that. I just have serious issues. I mean, the fact that she even live streamed it tells me she was trying to get attention, and she was an active participant in the assault. Okay. Now, Marina's defense attorney told reporters that Marina is an ordinary teenager, comes from a good family, who was taken advantage of by a predatory adult. She was innocent. Guys, I'm going to just say I beg to differ. I don't know any ordinary teenager who would voluntarily live stream a friend being sexually assaulted. An ordinary teenager wouldn't. A disturbed teenager, yes. But an ordinary teenager? Ordinary is most of the population, right? And her attorney went on to say that she is the farthest thing from a rapist and that Raymond was the rapist. She was just the filmographer. I mean, she didn't do anything to try to stop it. She, in some ways, was egging it on, right? By live streaming it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because just as she was getting the likes, he was too.
Yep. Now, she was released on bond. She returned to high school to continue as normal. But guys, just a month later, she was arrested at her high school for violating her bond. Because guess what, guys? She got out on bond. Her bond said she was to have no contact or be around minors, which means she can't go to high school. Right? She's a senior. Freshmen are minors, sophomores, juniors, some seniors. So I want to know how in the hell her attorney and her parents thought it was okay for her to go to school. You know, and then her attorney kept telling the media that, oh, she was in the habit of live streaming everything and it was just her normal routine. It's just the way she goes, oh, yes, I filmed this. Oh, I filmed that. He said it was just all a normal day for her. So am I so old
Go ahead.
to think that it's normal to just film a sexual assault and just think it's like filming your food or your dog running around?
They need to pull her entire album.
I mean, yeah. So now here's the other thing. Jane was said to be intoxicated in the video, which probably that's what Raymond was hoping, right? He gave him vodka the day before. Here's the question I have. Why did Raymond choose to assault Jane instead of Marina? How did he choose?
I think this goes into that whole question right there.
That is what I think. I can't help but wonder if Marina set it up. Now, the other thing that really drove me crazy, besides her action, was the ongoing rhetoric of her attorney, who kept saying, please do not lose track of the fact she is a high school student and she comes from a good family. So he basically wanted us to ignore the fact she intentionally pulled out her phone, opened an app, and live streamed her friend being raped. If you got friends like Marina, I'm going to tell you need new friends, because Marina's a friend like Addison and Matt. She ain't really a friend. That's my opinion. You don't like it, come for me. I am so okay. Okay, I'm okay. Now, the thing that's also interesting, I think it was a setup, right? Jane, the victim, believes that Marina set up the rape, which Marina denies. But I can't help but think she's right. How did Raymond choose to rape Jane? Like I said, how?
How did they just they come across a 29-year-old who wanted to buy them alcohol and take them somewhere?
And how did he know that Marina wouldn't attack him and try to save her friend? How did he know she was going to pull out a phone? It just is very sus to me, very sus. So this is where it gets even more frustrating. She did a plea deal. She admitted guilt to one count of obstructing justice and pandering sexual matter involving a minor, and got 9 months in prison.
No, you don't take plea deals for these crimes. You don't. You don't, DA.
And not when you have that kind of evidence.
Right.
Raymond only got 9 years. He is due to get out March 31st, 2025. I just need to go on the record and say, if you've got that kind of strong evidence, she live streamed it for God's sake. You've got it all, right? Why are you doing plea deals? And why is he only getting 9 years? This video, we all know once you put it out on the internet, it cannot be taken down. Jane has to live with this for the rest of her life and how to get past it. So that DA, somebody needs to have a talk, because 9 months and 9 years is not acceptable.
Somebody needs to have a talk while streaming it.
Yeah, I mean, how's that justice for a 17-year-old victim? How?
I mean,
Okay.
it's a testament to how little we give a shit about that crime. It's a testament to the fact that that DA or whomever, whatever politics played a part, cared so little that they're willing to re-victimize Jane over and over and over again.
They tried to say that charging Marina was hard because it was the first time they had taken a case with live streaming a sexual assault. They didn't know how they could charge her because she just live streamed it. But if you're driving the getaway car at a robbery, you did the robbery, right? You live streamed the assault. Yep. You did the assault. So I'm going to tell you, I really do not like her. I don't think she learned anything. There is no way 9 months could have taught her the lesson she needed to learn, in my opinion.
She learned that.
Maybe it did.
She learned that she was inconvenienced for 9 months. That's what she learned.
Now, I'm not 100%, but I did find someone on social media who looks just like Marina, goes by the same name. The nose is dead on. And Google Photos, when I saved them, even said it was the same person, or that'll say, is this the same person? Now does social media marketing training, which drives me crazy because if that is truly her, that is so not okay.
Is it on Facebook? Because that checks out.
Instagram. I won't share the picture and the info here, but I will just, guys, I'm sure you can find it. You just type in her name and you can find it.
Type in her name in Facebook, the first result.
So, but Raymond gets out of prison next year. And hopefully Jane has gotten the help she needs and she found justice for herself and realizes that she did nothing wrong. She had a friend that wasn't a true friend. And I hope Raymond got his in prison.
Yeah.
And that's my case.
That was a very different dark. Yeah. She does. She needs to have her phone taken away and set in a corner of a 6x6.
Why did they not make her where she couldn't be on social media for this many years? They do it for other people. If she is truly that person that now is teaching people how to use social media marketing, if that is truly her, she learned how to do what she's making money on from what she did. And that should not be okay.
No, not, yeah. 100%.
So, and whoever did the plea deal with her really needs to. I get we do plea deals, especially if you don't have a lot of evidence. You had it live streamed. You had the evidence. She admitted she did it. Why would you plead ill? Why would you plea this down? She could have gotten life. And instead she got 9 months. And if I was Jane, it would be hard to realize I was only worth 9 months for the person who did this.
Right.
That's what I got. Oh, I told you it was dark.
I found a class on Udemy. Yep.
Udemy.
Preview
That's the one. And if you look at that nose, and I wasn't sure, but then Google Photos said this is the same person, and that's disturbing.
She's
not even trying to go by a different name. She's not even trying to go by a different name. Yeah, I watched it. I just don't want to go get sued or anything by saying for sure it's her. In my opinion, it looks like her. And I will tell you, if you're looking for a social media class, do not take her class. Do not give this person any money. She ruined somebody's life.
Yeah. Well, although it's free. So there's that.
Oh, well, it's free, but she gets money from clicks and how many people register kind of thing.
She's had 2,200 students.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, this world is something else. It's just something else.
On a happy note, the next time we are face-to-face on YouTube, we will be sitting next to each other physically.
I might throw up from being so excited.
Oh, I was like, why are you going to throw up?
I saw the face. I know there's a slight delay, so I was really excited to see the face as it came across the waves to you.
Why you throw up? It'll be a party.
It is going to be a party.
It depends. I mean, it'll be fun. Oh no, I will have just gotten there, so we won't have spent a night together yet. So, I mean, we're going to live stream within like 2 hours of me getting there, so we're still going to be all giddy. And I'm going to be drinking cocktails on the plane.
Yeah, I mean, I really look forward to being there and meeting people. That's the whole point of these things, is to meet folks who either listen to you or who might be interested in listening to you. That is the whole point. Is, I mean, yes, there's going to be fun and partying and enjoy and by partying I mean probably I'll be in bed by 11, but maybe, I don't know. But the whole point is to meet people and network and enjoy your time and give back, to the community. So I look forward to being able to do that for the first time in 5 years.
I know, and I'm excited that we'll get some pictures together because I'm bringing my camera, get us some pictures. And is there any other podcast people that are going to be there that you're excited to meet face to face for the first time?
Let me take a look.
Besides me and Mike, of course.
Well, duh. Let's see here. Oh, Eric Carter Landine. Eric's going to be there with his two shows.
With
True Consequences.
True Consequence. Okay, I was going, isn't that Truth and Consequence or something?
Yes. I mean, you guys have hyped up I Think Not, and I know nothing about them. I'll be honest.
Oh my God. Joey is just yummy. And he's just a good person too.
I've heard Wine and Crime's fun to chat with and hang out with.
Wine and Crime is good. Amanda and Lucy are both great. I'm actually bringing a gift for Lucy because she and I both like bones. And so I have some bones I'm bringing her.
Autumn from Autumn's Oddities. I've known her for quite some time. Bob Mata is going to be there with Defense Diaries. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be good.
Yeah. There's a lot of good.
And
There's a good.
I can't think of her name. Dirty John, Tara Newell is going to be there too.
Yes, Tara's Baddie Club. Is that the podcast?
I
Yes,
think
that
so.
is. Her podcast is Tara's
She's the
Baddie
one
Club.
that
Yep.
she helped Dirty John say goodbye. She removed him from this earth. So it's going to be fun. Plus, we're going to celebrate Mike's birthday. He will have just had a birthday a couple of days before we meet up. And then we can celebrate
And
my
yours.
birthday a week early. Yeah.
Yay! Right in the
So,
middle.
and I do think, I know we're going to do our live stream, but I'm sure that we will just spontaneously do some live streams too.
I'll have my cell phone, therefore it will happen.
As I say, it will happen. So I'm very excited. And I think it's going to be great to meet so many people.
I can't wait to find out who I'm taller than.
You're not taller than me. How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay, you are taller than me. I'm only 5'11".
Well, I'm like 6 foot on a good day. I'm 5'11" and a half other days. So it just depends. I didn't know you were 5'11". I'm gonna love this. This is great. We're gonna walk in unison together everywhere.
And then when I wear my 3-inch heels,
I will appreciate being
so my
shorter.
Devil
than
Age
somebody.
calls me his Christy. He's my Billy Joel. I'm his Christy.
You and I are like the tallest people on the staff at True Crime and Wine Time.
We are.
Yeah, there's Sam. Sam said she's 5'4". I think we got
Jasper's
5'4", 5'7". I don't have heels. I don't know where to get them. I don't have them.
I can send you links, or when we're together, I can show you where to get them. I know where the queens get them.
Yeah. I would totally buy a pair.
So
that's reasonable.
I'm excited.
Clearance rack.
What do you have? I will be back on Monday. Do you have a hey ho tomorrow?
Yes.
No
hey ho tomorrow.
Okay.
Nope. We do have night court on Monday.
Okay.
And then let's see, next week. Night court is Monday. I'll do the live reading on Courtyard on Wednesday. And then Hey Ho show will be on Friday.
Okay.
And you have Midday Missing Monday and Wednesday.
Yes.
And then we will announce it from there.
Yeah, and Thursday is a holiday next week. So
it sure is. Oh, that's right. I might need to rethink my recording time with Brew Crime. Although Mike's in Canada, so it's not the same.
He's in Canada. It's not the same.
Correct. I mean, you know how they ended up spelling Canada, right?
No.
They were talking about the spelling, and somebody said Canada, and there it is, Canada.
Okay.
And on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in to TCWT Live. We appreciate you so very, very much. I will sign off by saying take care of yourself, your friends, your family, community. Don't let anybody dull your sparkle, and shine on you crazy diamonds. Over to you, Terry.
And as always, I tell you to stay safe, watch out for crime, and enjoy your wine time. Until next time.
Bye, everybody.